Man, that robot was killing me.
Just gotta feel. Here's another question.
Yep.
What are you passionate about, and how do you use passion to basically inspire others and help you proceed in life?
Okay. One thing I'm definitely passionate about, number one thing I'm passionate about is love. I think there's only one love, and that love is unconditional. If there's any type of conditions to it, it's not love. And I'm really passionate about love because love is the strongest bond, strongest connection, strongest emotion on this planet. Once you do things with love, out of love, I feel like that's where you find happiness.
Yeah.
Anytime I did things that I loved, I was always happy, I was always joyed. I was always doing stuff that would inspire, uplift, empower people, and I didn't even know I was doing it at the time. I was just doing what I loved.
Yeah.
So kind of like growing up, I realized like love is really something that the world needs, because not a lot of people believe in love. Not a lot of people think they can do what they love. And when it came to like my passion and everything, passion and love went hand in hand. Something that somebody told me is you cannot tame passion.
Yeah.
And if you take out passion and add in love, you can't tame love.
Yeah.
Like when you love something, you really, really love it. You want to see it grow. You want to see it get to that absolute level.
Absolutely.
So love is like just really important thing to me. So I try to live my life spreading love to different people.
Word.
And
Word.
when I say love, it's not that conditional. Anything, because like I said, love is not conditional, it's unconditional. So no matter who you are, what you look like, what you believe in, what you do, I always try to spread that unconditional love, because what I realized, and you probably did too when you talk to different people, is there's so many people who are missing that element of love, or missing that element of compassion, that like by spreading that love, you make them feel real again. You make them feel like a human. You kind of humanize with them, and you give them, in a sense, a purpose and that belief that they can achieve, they can do whatever is possible for them.
Do you think that kind of love has to be learned? Or do you, like, when I say learned, I mean, do people have to go through trial and error, or do they just have to experience it themselves, where they're like, oh, maybe I can spread this onto other people?
I think, honestly, I think it's a little of both. I think when we're born as infants, we know what love is, because that's all we want, that's all we need. We want our mom to love us, we want our father to love us, whatever the situation, we want that love. So I think we know what it is, but the problem is we always try to define it. So we always want to be like, love is this, love is that, love, it has to be this way. And through trial and error, that's when we kind of learn and we realize like, okay, this isn't love. This might not be what love is. Or maybe this is not the way love works for me. It might work for this person or somebody else. So I think it's a little of both. It's kind of, you know deep down in your heart what it is, but when you try to label it, you limit it. Whereas when you just kind of like learn through what you do, and not, instead of labeling it, just going with the flow and just being like, okay, this feeling I get from doing whatever, or from talking to whoever, or just being with whatever, this feeling is more important than me trying to throw that label on it. I feel like that's when people have that understanding and clarity about what love is.
It starts with self-love. You get me?
Yeah,
you know
without
what I mean?
a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, and it's just like, once you develop that self-love, once you love yourself enough to respect yourself in, you know, every way possible, you know what I mean? I'm talking, you know, eating healthy, you know, taking care of your mind, your soul, you know what I'm saying, spiritually, whatever, doing what you want to do in life, you know what I mean? Then you could go on to others and, you know, spread love, or even help them find their self-love, you know what I mean? And it's a beautiful thing, all
and the biggest thing about it, and what I love about love, is that it's always a work in progress. There's never a point in time when love stops. Like, you got it. Each time you love, it always builds, and it keeps building and growing and growing and growing, and so on and so forth. So even when it comes to self-love, because I know there's a lot of people in the world who are having trouble loving themselves right now, it's like, even if you love yourself, it doesn't mean that you're not going to, like, you're gonna have everything figured out. Loving yourself is knowing that you're gonna keep growing, you're gonna keep learning, you're gonna keep kind of shining, prospering from that love, and that eventually you'll feel all of that at once, and you'll be like, okay, now it makes sense. Even when you're going through like the lowest times, I think everybody has that basic instinct to love themselves because they keep fighting through it. And even if they think they give up, they really don't give up because they're still living. They're just not living the way they want to, but you're still living. So I think love is really like a very powerful thing once people start building upon it.